not everyone's story.
Right.
Not everyone's going to be that, right? But we all, how I like to look at the world is we all have our place. We all have our piece of the puzzle that we're contributing to this bigger thing, bigger
Yes.
piece of art.
You and music.
Yeah. Oh, I love her. Bigger piece of art. She's speaking my language. Okay.
You know, we all have our own paintbrush
Yes.
and colors to add to the bigger canvas. So I like that we don't all have to be the big Steven Spielberg designer, but we can aspire to other endeavors that are going to carve out our own path within that. You know, just be inspired by that, right? So yeah, I definitely think that we should strive to be like others, but you know, carve out our own path in so many other ways.
Yeah, that's kind of why I moved my focus over to education, because like I can still get projects. You know, I'll pick up a show here and there and work on the show. But there's a lot of new artists coming in, and they are having a hard time finding work, and also students don't even know how to approach this. So the fact that I get to influence like the direction of students and where they're kind of like percolating with ideas, and I'm like, you guys change the future, because it's changing so fast with all of the AI and stuff like that, which is kind of taking away a lot of jobs, but at the same time, you're still going to need innovation.
That's what it is. That's what it is, innovation and creativity. And for me, you know, we as young people don't always grow with that confidence, right?
Right.
We're not always like, sometimes it's innate. For me, it has been developed. I would say even becoming an entrepreneur in my entrepreneurship, when I worked in corporate America, because my voice was silenced a lot, I put my head down and did the good work, right? Because I wanted to sustain not only economically, right? I had bills to pay, but I wanted to sustain my positioning. I wanted to continue to do the things that I loved. So I put my head down and did the work, and I didn't really share my voice. But now as an entrepreneur on the other side, I almost don't have a choice. In order to drive my mission forward, people want to hear from me. People want to see me. People want to know who is this person behind this mission. So I have no choice. But I grew up in foster care. I grew up shy. I didn't grow up empowered. I didn't grow up trusted with much. So now, yeah.
How did you find that having that trust within yourself, from knowing you came from foster care, I'm sure from different homes, how did you hone in like that trust and security within yourself, and know who Candace is, be rooted in yourself? Because a lot of people living in Los Angeles feel so lost, right? They're like, there's so many things to do. Well, what are people doing on social media? But you came from here to there. I'm just curious how you were able to hone your sense of security and how someone can cultivate that who don't know.
It's not people driven, I'll tell you that. It's spiritual driven. It's knowing my position and power in this world that allows me to kind of step into it, even scared. It's knowing that I've failed and experienced setbacks, but I've also persevered and overcome. It's being inspired by my own resilience. It's having mentorships and guidance from so many different aspects and avenues, right? My mentors are my mini board of directors in my life, right? They're not just mentors as me as a professional, but I'm a mom also, so I have mentors, moms who, and people who in the church, and people who are friends and colleagues, and just people who I admire. I lean into them for mentorship, and they're all my mini board of executives over my entire life. And so it's just not me, right? And it's not only about people, but God puts people here to be that. So I've identified those different executive board members of my life. And even if, like I said, they're stay-at-home moms, and they're just momming good, they're doing a good job at being a mom. I'm inspired by that, and I could use that mentorship, you know what I mean, that guidance. So for me, it just wasn't being parented by one person or two people. It was being parented in many different aspects of the world.
Wow, that's a beautiful story. I
Isn't
want to
it?
hear more
Thank you.
about that. I think there should be a film about your childhood.
Eventually there will be. Eventually
Okay,
there will
see,
be.
I knew
There's
there
so
was
much
something
more.
there.
There's so many layers. Eventually there will be.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see a Candace film one day, everybody.
Yes, you will.
We're gonna close out real quick, so if
Okay.
you can just reiterate for each of you what kind of fields that prospective mentees or apprentices can learn from you guys, and also how they can reach you.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to ask that.
Okay, great. So what kind of fields can your mentees apply to, and where can they reach you? And just briefly mention your company name and yeah.
So again, I'm Candace Newman, CEO and founder of Live Out Live. You can find mentorship and guidance on our platforms throughout the internet. LiveOutLive.com is our website. We are on all social media platforms. We currently are running and have recently launched a new mentorship program within the live music industry. So if you're interested in career pathways in live music, which so many ways to get into that industry, so many skills are transferable to come into that industry. So don't look at yourself in a limiting way where you can't have a career in the live music industry. Follow us and lean into Live Out Live, and I'm happy to help you explore.